Wow, that is a nicely detailed gun. That's so much detail. Whew, I think I'm gonna need a cigarette. Welcome fellow Quest heads and VR fanatics, my name is Rex, this is Eyes on VR, where I do full in-depth reviews of any VR game I can get my hands on, but shooters are always a priority. I'll keep you up to date with VR gaming, VR tech news, and don't forget, I'll do gun stocks as well. Now don't forget to stick around till the end of the video for a little insider conversation I had with one of the devs of this game, who has revealed to me an amazing feature about this game that you guys are going to love. Did you play any of the arcade shooters back in the day in the arcades? If you did, which was your favorite? Just before we get started, you guys have asked for it. It has been done. With a little bit of help, I'm happy to announce that the Eyes on VR Discord server is now open for business. So check the link in the description down below. Let's chat all things VR and some things that aren't. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. It really helps out the channel. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe down below, or if you're watching landscape on mobile, in the corner there. I hope it's that side. It might be this side. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let's get into it. See, this game is great, but there's just something missing from it. Oh, that's what it is. Here we go. Woo! Oh, grenade in the air! Come and get some! Get some! Get some dual wielding! Oh man, this game is exactly what I wanted it to be. Okay, come on. Whoa! Jeez, that was close. Oh yes. Yes, it's me with double AKs! Whoa! Okay, that's a big boy. Guys, I wouldn't... Oh, no, there we go. Whoa, it's coming! Hey, get out of my face. Yeah, this game rules! Hey, don't ruin the montage! So we're finally here. The long-awaited sequel by many people, including your friendly neighborhood host Rex over here. It's Crisis VRigade 2. I have been waiting for this for a long time, and I know a lot of other people have as well. Crisis VRigade 1 was downloaded over 200,000 times on SideQuest, and that is a massive achievement. I mean, there are apps and games on the official Oculus store that have not even been downloaded that many times. And I downloaded Crisis VRigade 1, of course I did. It's a shooter, this is what we're all about here. I played it, I loved it, but there was one thing that always niggled at me. It was the visuals. It was the visuals. All day long, it was the visuals. When I first downloaded it and played it, I was having a great time, and I was like, man, this is amazing. This is something I'm really looking for in VR. Takes me back to those old arcade days of Time Crisis and House of the Dead. This is amazing. But I just couldn't get over how it looked. It was too cartoony for me, and if you know me and you've been watching this channel, that's not really my forte. I like things a bit more realistic, and you know, it just wasn't there. And so unfortunately, you know, I had to put it down, which is such a shame because it had everything. It's got that classic duck and cover action. It had co-op as well. It had everything that you wanted. Getting into crazy shootouts, high difficulties if you wanted it. Amazing, but I just couldn't get past those visuals, which was such a shame. But again, that's my taste, because obviously over 200,000 downloads, people love it, and people still love it to this day, and they have no problem with the visuals, and I completely understand that. It's just not my taste. But now, Quest heads and VR fanatics, Crisis VRigade 2 is taking over the mantle. PCVR players, Crisis VRigade 2 is available on Steam for every headset that exists right now. Everyone else on the Oculus Quest, it is one of the few games in the App Lab at the moment. Go straight there through the Oculus Store, or you can find it through SideQuest. And if you feel the same way I did about Crisis VRigade 1, or you're just here to see what the sequel has to offer, it's the game you've been waiting for. Great visuals, lots of explosions, plenty of gunplay, amazing real-life duck and cover actions, skins for your guns, and more. The gameplay here, combined with the action, makes for tense and amazing shootouts. This is for players new and old, and if you've played in the arcades in real life, you're gonna feel right at home here. I mean, I'll be frank with you, this is Time Crisis, but in your home, in VR, and I used to love Time Crisis. I spent many a pound playing it in the arcades when I was a kid, and I've already spent many hours on Crisis VRigade too. So basically, I'm going to jump into some real comparison territory here. With Time Crisis, you're on rails, moving through a level, stop at certain points, get shot at by waves of enemies, and you have to shoot all the bad guys. In the arcades, you'd have a little foot pedal at the bottom so you could duck your character behind cover should you need it. Crisis VRigade is no different. You're moved on a rail, through a level, you get to certain points, stop, waves of bad guys, kill all the bad guys, move along. Except there's no foot pedal here, folks. And you'll have to be doing that yourself. You'll be hiding behind cover plenty as well, believe you me. And honestly, I couldn't be happier about this. It's great to feel like you're in the firefight, and this game really pulls you into that. It keeps the gameplay interesting as well, with different levels of cover from different angles when you get to the points where you're in a gunfight. Sometimes cover will be relatively high, so you'll just be ducking a little bit, but other times cover will be low and you will be squatting behind it. Sometimes you'll be fully on the ground because it actually disappears and gets chipped away by bullets as you're taking cover behind it. This game is not made to be played sat down, and if you think you're safe in cover, be warned, enemies will be all up in your grill. You even get some SWAT comrades as you go through the level, but name them at your peril, as you're not going to be seeing them alive for long, I can tell you that now. This game won't cut you slack in that regard, so if you think just because you have help the game's going to let you keep it, do not be a fool. Also, as the same with Time Crisis, you get 3 lives, and to see how many lives you have left, just look at your wristwatch on your non-dominant hand. 3 hits in a level and you're done. It's all over. And Crisis VRigade 2, no different. There's no health recovery here over time. You can't just hide away after taking damage and your health recovers, but you can gain more lives through the stages if you've got a crack shot and if you get that drop, if you're lucky. What's nice here as well is there are multiple routes to take through each level. They all come to the same places in the end, so don't worry, you're not going to be missing out on anything important. But the choice is nice. At the end of a section, go left, go right, go up, go down. It's all up to you. This is a perfect segue into the game's difficulty. Crisis VRigade 1, whilst it had cartoony, cel-shady, childish, if you will, graphics, it was well known for being one of the hardest, most brutal shooters in VR that exists. And Crisis VRigade 2 is absolutely no different from that. The difficulties go like this. You start off as Rookie, where you get aim assist, and you also get danger indicators. Danger indicators are basically bad guys who are either getting too close or getting a bit too eager to shoot you down. They'll have a little triangle above their head with an exclamation mark in the middle, and you'll know that they are the priority person to shoot at that moment. After that, you get Recruit. Recruit gives you the danger indicators, but it does not give you any aim assist. After that, you've got Veteran, where you get nothing. You are on your own, as it says within the game. So basically, it's all you, man. It's all you. Try and get through the levels as best you can, because you're not going to get any help here. Then there's Hell Mode, which is very aptly named, as you get no danger indicators, no aim assist, and you have limited ammunition. And I am talking limited. You get a mag in your main weapon and you get 2 spares, that's it. Now, don't be too disheartened, because at the end of each shooting section, you will be given 1 other magazine to take with you. So if you've been through a shooting section and you use 2 mags, you're going to come out with another 1 at least. Now, it's to note that in every difficulty you can get consumable pickups. You can pick up different rifles like M16s and MP5s to use against bad guys, but they only come with 1 mag, and then that's it. You go straight back to your pistols. With Rookie, Recruit and Veteran, you can take rifles in from the go to play these difficulties and have infinite ammunition with those. So if you want to take an M16 in to use for the entire round, you absolutely can, but I'm afraid Hell Mode is pistols only, folks. That's all you get. You do get the dropped consumables still of the rifles with 1 mag, but that is it. You cannot take a rifle in to use from the get-go. So when you take a look at this difficulty system, it's got something for everyone. Your more casual players, if you just play on Rookie, you're going to have a great time. It's difficult enough, but with the aim assist and the danger indicators, you're going to have a great time, and it's not going to be too difficult. You might have a few restarts here and there, but it's just challenging enough to still be a good time. But you guys who are more hardcore and think you are the new John Wick of VR, this will put that to the test. Whether you've got 1 gun or 2, you are really going to be pushed when you go up to recruit, veteran, and hell mode. If anyone can complete this entire game on hell mode by themselves, come and tell me about it in the Discord, because much praise will go to you. So now the question becomes, what do you get to play with? And that means it's time to talk about
guns. Lots of guns.
You get a modest selection of guns in this game, but always I have to make a special mention to the fact that you can dual wield anything, and I mean anything. I've got dual MP5s, what do you got, fools? MK18s are so good. Dual SMGs, baby! Whoa, okay, I got 2 M16s, here we go, come on, bring it! And how can you not love that? So let's talk sidearms, because you're probably going to be using those the most. You get a selection of 4 sidearms right now, the SIG P350, maybe a P320, who knows. You'll see a pattern like this with the guns that don't violate certain copyright rules, like the C1911 pistol or the Ruger, and don't forget the PT8 Alurus. All nice looking, aesthetically well-detailed models here. I certainly can't fault the models of the guns, not at all. So what happens is you unlock more guns and dual wielding of each guns with perks, with the coins, and I'll talk about what you can buy a little bit later in the video. And don't worry, you earn these coins in game for spending by completing levels, getting higher scores, and so on. There's no microtransactions here. Now there isn't much difference in these guns apart from the look here, honestly. They have the same power in their shots, they have the same amount of shots per mag. You get 16 shots here in a magazine, including the chambered round, which is great. I mean, hell, I wish I could find an M1911 or a SIG P320 that has a 16 round magazine. At this time, there are 6 assault rifle consumables to choose from M16s, MP5s, AKM, MK18, and more. And like I said before, they can all be dual wielded. Being consumables here though means that you spend 100 coins on whichever rifle takes your fancy, and you can use it for one entire level, but once the level's done, you're back to pistols and you have to rebuy the rifle. But when you buy them to take in a level with you, you do have more ammo for it. You have infinite ammo. Unless you're playing hell mode, then you don't get that. It's only pistols, I'm afraid. Now it's time for the always fun realism review. A quick fire round where I take a look at how realistic the guns are in any game that we're playing. So here we go. Can you see bullets in the magazine? When a mag is empty, are the bullets gone? Can you see a bullet in the chamber? If you have an empty mag, can you fire that last chambered round? If you chamber one round, can you shoot only one? Do the guns react with the environment, or do they just clip through everything? One thing that's interesting here though is on the inside of every weapon that you have, you'll see these little yellow rectangles, and they actually represent how many shots you have left in your gun, and they are accurate to having one left in the chamber as well. So that's kind of nice. It makes it a lot easier, especially if you're trying to ammo count at the same time. But I will say, whilst that's very fun, you can also hold the slide back on your guns or the charging handle and still fire an entire magazine off without the slide or charging handle going back on itself. So that's kind of weird. So when you start up the game, you'll have a little controller / tutorial where you can select to do your height calibration, if you want manual or automatic reloading. And once you've selected your reload type, it'll show you how it works and take you to the main menu once you've completed a successful reload. And after that, you're free to get going. You can select missions, head to the shooting range. The shooting range is very simple to use. Just go in there, turn to your left. Over your left shoulder, you will see all the rifles in the game you can use to practice with them. If you look to your right, you'll see the exit behind you, and in front of you, you'll have normal shooting lanes. Use the stick on the left to push your target further away or move it closer to you. Press the button to start a countdown for you shooting the target, and it will register your hits and present you with a point score. Unlock various weapons and perks, check out the leaderboards, and show your colleagues who's boss. Damn you, Steve! Stop using my desk! Now when you first start the game, you're going to have access to a whole bunch of nothing. You'll have access to one pistol, the shooting range, and the first missions. You won't really be able to buy anything as you won't have enough coins for that. Just jump right into the first mission and get going. The tagline for this mission is The Raid. a Yakuza boss deep down in Chinatown, and that's exactly where you're going. The mission starts with a bang, you're behind an APC and a police chopper is blown out of the sky and hordes of guys start coming at you, and unfortunately the two SWAT guys are lucky enough to be there too. After the first waves of guys are dealt with, it's your call. You can go left down an alley or straight down the stairs. After a bunch of twists and turns, outside, marketplace, inside, it's boss time. Every level gets a boss fight. This man can take some bullets, and he's also bringing a lot of friends. What's really nice here though is throughout the levels there's all these destructible environment parts, from pillars you hide behind that produce debris and chip away when they're shot at, to crouching behind cement cover like with this first boss fight. It's being chipped away further and further, so you're having to take lower and lower cover, and this really adds to that fun and tension. Next up is the mission Montoya, which is a Colombian drug stronghold in a very big mansion. I feel like this guy's name might be Tony Montoya.
Tony Montoya, y me vais a comer. You think you can take me? Give me a army, you're gonna take me.
Maybe. And I'll tell you now, storming this place is just as fun as you think it is. Starting in the courtyard, having a massive shootout there upon multiple levels, working your way through the mansion via the main door or the side door, through the library, into a secret elevator, until you meet the man himself who makes just exactly the entrance that you want him to.
You wanna play games? Okay, I play with you.
Now, I'm not going to go into full detail about the final level because there's no fun in telling you everything, but the third level is full of surprises.
Where did these bastards come from?
Now, as for settings in this game, there's not a whole lot going on here. You can change the control scheme if you want, from manual to auto reloading. You can mess with the height calibration if you want, whether you want the radio dispatcher voiceover or not. And a nice touch is that you can change the gun's offset, so it can feel more natural at a better angle for however you're holding these controllers, whether you are trying to play this sat down, which I do not recommend, or stood up, or whether you can't hold the controller exactly correct. You can always mess with the gun's offset, and it makes accessibility for this game a lot higher. Now, I've just spent ages gushing and gushing over how much I like this game, and I do, it's true, I can't deny it, but no game is perfect, and Crisis VRigade 2 is no exception. But of course, this is early access, this is still being worked on, so everything I say could be patched, so take it with just a little bit of grain of salt. So some of the things for me that weren't the best were the handling of the two-handed weapons. It just feels off. Like, from what I've experienced, the best way I can explain it is that when you grab the handguard of like an M16 in this game, it just doesn't seem to be in the same place as your hand is in real life, which makes everything feel a bit off. I already mentioned being able to hold the slide or the charge handle back while you fire off a full magazine. Other than that, it's just stuff I'd prefer to be different. Like, the gun sounds aren't very impactful, apart from the PT-8. I love that gun sound, and it's why I use it so often. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. Otherwise, I'd be all over a SIG. If any of you know me, you know I love a SIG. I'd like shells to land on the floor and the environment rather than just go through them. Almost every non-pistol in the entire game, their magazine clips through itself for some reason. It's just stuff like that, but things can change, and I know the shells thing going through the floors into oblivion is just so the quest doesn't basically explode, having to render all the shells from every gun on the floor. And that's just pointless nitpicking. The biggest issue that will arise for most people, I think, would be the price. And it's actually 20% off on Steam at the moment, so go grab that while you can. It's around £14, which is about 20 bucks, and for what you get right now, that's quite a price point to have. But I would highly encourage you to take the plunge here. You can replay the levels many times, and conquering all the difficulties will take you a long time and a lot of practice. Not to mention unlocking everything as well. That will certainly keep you amused. There's time attack mode coming with 3 new levels as well as the time attack mode, but also here's that little insider knowledge that I told you about before that I've managed to gain from the devs. It is ultra great news. In the first Crisis VRigade, there was co-op, and that took that game to a whole new level. And yes, it is coming to Crisis VRigade 2 as well. Now, this will be at some point. The devs are working really hard to sort out the co-op for Crisis VRigade 2. Don't worry, it will be coming. They've said it's a complete no-brainer to have it because it's one of the things that really elevated the first game. And they're working on it right now as we speak. And quite honestly, I cannot wait. When there's co-op going on here, this game will become even more of an amazing game. To conquer this thing with a friend on all the modes, on all the maps, that just sounds like an amazing time and such a challenge. Can you imagine just getting your best friend or even just meeting a rando on co-op and conquering one of these levels on hell mode or something? Talk about a way to build a bond. But speaking of the price, you need to understand that this is a small 4-person team that's been working on this game, and the price point reflects that. It reflects the blood, sweat and tears that have been poured into this game and will be poured into this as it goes along. As time goes by, these guys are only going to add more and more and more. There's more guns coming, there's co-op coming, there's more maps coming, there's time attack coming, and even more stuff they probably haven't even thought of yet that they'll add later down the line. All the while, they'll be fixing bugs, patching out things, changing this, changing that, listening to the community. The money you're paying now is for your future enjoyment as well as your enjoyment right now. And honestly, if you think about all those things that are coming, I have paid more to get less on not only side quest or it, but also on the official Oculus store. Crisis VRigade 2 is an old school, fun, action-packed, on-rails time crisis shooter brought into the new age and accentuated even more through VR. Whether you're ducking and covering behind cover yourself, or whether you're pinned down trying to protect those 3 precious lives that you have just to get to the end for the inevitable boss battle. Grab a pistol, grab a rifle, insert your magazine, pull your slide, pull your charging handle, and get yourself into one of the most engaging shooters ever to appear on the Oculus Quest systems. Well, nothing more need be said about Crisis VRigade 2. I hope that this video has helped you make up your mind on whether you're going to purchase it or not, whether it's the game for you. Come and talk to me about it in the Discord after this video is posted. Just use the link down below in the description. Come and talk to me about it. I'd love to hear what you guys think about the video and about the game, of course. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like. I really appreciate it. It really helps out the channel too. Don't forget to subscribe down below as well for more Oculus Quest, PCVR content, and in-depth reviews and VR tech and VR gaming news. I have been Rex. This is Eyes on VR. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.